Very good morning, children. Welcome to session 2, Story of Microorganisms, part 1. Let's have a quick recapitulation. For the first time, Anthony von Leeuwenhoek observed microorganisms and he called them as animalcules, later as a bacteria. Microbiology is a branch of biology which studies about microorganisms. Types of microorganisms: viruses, bacteria, protozoans, microarthropods, algae, and fungi. Then a fungi can be seen especially in the rainy season over rotten fruits, vegetables, and pickles. Then even we learned about activity on how to observe lactobacillus bacteria in buttermilk and curd. Now, let's come to our lesson, facts about bacteria. Most of the bacteria live on our skin, and even it is able to cause different types of infections over our skin. Then some of these bacteria can lead a symbiotic relationship with others. Symbiotic relationship means they depend on others but won't cause any harm to the others. So for example, some bacteria is living in our intestine, and this bacteria is getting shelter from our body, and in turn it provides vitamins to our body. So here there is no harm between our body and also bacteria. So what we call this kind of a mutual relationship or a mutual depending on each other means symbiosis. It is just like our parents. Our mother depends upon father and father and mother without any harm, and that relation can be called as a symbiotic relationship. Then some bacteria live in our intestine and help in digestion. Digestion means especially to convert large complex molecules like carbohydrates into simple molecules called glucose, then proteins into amino acids, then fats into fatty acids, and glycerol, right? And here we can find one scientist by name Heed N. Sculch, and for the first time he discovered a biggest bacteria, and its size is about 0.75 millimeters. So as it is having this much of size, we can see this even without using any microscope like this, with our naked eyes, without using any spectacles or lenses. We can see this bacteria as a small dot, and this is considered as the biggest bacteria. So what is the name of that? Means that's a Theomargarita namibiensis. Got it? Theomargarita namibiensis, and here, so can you see this? This is the scientist, that is Heed N. Sculch, and here we can find the bacteria, and this bacteria is said to be the biggest one, Theomargarita namibiensis. Okay, and it was found in the coastal regions of Namibia, and that's why it got the name that's namibiensis. Now the next one, observation of algae. Now what is the algae means? Generally we can find this algae in with surroundings, especially in rainy season, when water is stored for a long time in small ditches. After few days we can find some green structures develop in that water, and what we call that is said to be algae. So here, what is the procedure to observe this algae means? From a lake we need to collect a few drops of water along with that green scraping, and then carefully put that over the slide and then observe under the microscope. So by this way we can observe this algae, different types of algae, and here we can find very common algae, that is a Chara, and here this is one more, that's a Spirogera. You see inside this Spirogera we can find some ladder-like structures. These will also be chloroplasts, right? So this is very simple. First we need to collect some drops of water along with some strapping, and then put that over the slide and then observe that, right? So this is the way how to observe this algae. The next one, observation of protozoans. Now protozoans means we can say these are unicellular organisms or single-celled organisms, and how to observe these protozoans means we need to take some hay. Hay means dry grass. For example, take this rice grass. Rice grass is green in color, but whenever it is dried, it turns into yellow, right? So that is to be hay, and put that hay in a pond water for a few days, and then we need to boil that, and so that we can prepare a decoction, right? And that decoction is to be stored for 3 to 4 days, and after that we need to take 1 or 2 drops of that decoction and put that over the slide under the microscope. Okay, so in that water, in that decoction, we can find a variety of protozoans. Commonly, well about this, it's amoeba, and here we can find one more, that's a paramecium. What is the shape of this? It's in a slipper shape, and so we call that as a slipper animalcule. Slipper animalcule, and this is, we call this as a verticilla. Can you say what is its shape? It's in a bell shape, inverted bell shape, and so that's why we call this as a bell animalcule. And this is the last one, that is a plasmodium, and actually this protozoan is responsible for causing very dangerous disease, malaria. This malaria is caused by this plasmodium, right? So what is the way to observe this protozoans means we need to soak means we need to keep the hay in a pond water for a few days, and then prepare the decoction. After 3 or 4 days, 1 or 2 drops of water take over the slide, and then observe that under the microscope. Clear? And then observation of micro arthropods. Arthropods, what are arthropods means? So these are the invertebrates. Invertebrates means without backbone. So these invertebrates, they have a jointed legs, and so we call them as arthropods. Micro arthropods means, actually arthropods means we can say good examples like mosquitoes, houseflies, cockroach, honeybee, butterflies. All these things are said to be examples for arthropods. We can see them very clearly. But here, what are micro arthropods means? Some of these insects can be seen as a small dots because of their small size, and so we call them as a micro arthropods. And see, what is the use of them means, some of these micro arthropods, they survive in soil and increase the fertility of the soil. Fertility means they make the soil rich in nutrients. How means? By decomposing this organic matter. So when plant and animal dead matter are present in soil, these dead parts are decomposed by this micro arthropods, and it converts them into manure, and so that fertility of the soil increases. Then they can be seen in the soil and over our skin and even eyelids. Now and then you can find that over our eyes some black colored insects are roaming. Have you seen? Yeah, that is also one example for this microarthropod. And then beddings. No, in our beds also we can find small things, and they are said to be this microarthropods. And some of them can cause a disease that is called scabies. Scabies means it is caused by this insect. We call this as a itch mite or a scabies mite. Okay, and when this mite is present over our skin, then we get a disease, right? And what is the meaning means, we can say that joint-legged animals. Here we can find good examples. The first one, this is cyclops, this is Daphnia, then this is itch mite or a scabies mite, this is bedbug. Bedbug means we can find this in our beddings, right? So it's about microarthropods, and that's it for today's session. And don't forget about this. What is this? This is a hand sanitizer, then mask, wearing the mask to our face, the next wearing the gloves when you go outside, and then cleaning our hands regularly with a soap or a hand wash. Okay, and by taking all these measures, we are able to control this pandemic disease, that is corona. And the most important one is stay home and stay safe. Thank you.